This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel scum.
Pew, 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 pew. What? Here we are, 2 weeks later. Welcome to the Rebel Scum Podcast. I'm Brock. This is...
Oh, hi, I'm James.
Oh, hi, I didn't see that.
Hi, I'm reading the Phantom Menace novel, graphic novel, comic book that you got me, I believe.
Yeah.
Years and many moons ago. Let me read it. This is going to be a read-along. Above the planet of Naboo. Anyway, yeah, this is, if you don't like the Phantom Menace, you are a fake fan. I'm trying to put it away now. So anyway, hi Brock. It's been a minute and a half.
Been a while. Yeah. Summer's hard, you guys. It's hard. Yeah.
I can't find my tripod, by the way. So
there's no. Oh! I'll do it.
Sorry, go on, Brock.
Whoa. It's, summer's hard. There's no Star Wars stuff to really talk about, or am I crazy? Is there stuff to talk about?
Well, you are crazy. I think there's nothing major, but there's little things here and there, but nothing like, I mean, we're not going to talk about it today because we're dumb, but the Rian Johnson interview for Knives Out Part 2, Glass Control, whatever it's called, he mentioned how he's more proud than ever about The Last Jedi, and he's still working on his trilogy, which... Sure. That's really sure. Like, sure you are.
Sure you are. And Taika Waititi's got his trilogy ready as well.
But he won't be doing the next Thor movie because now everybody hates him. Everybody hates him, and everybody hates Olivia Wilde. So I don't know who you're going to get to make the next movie.
There's no way he'll do Star Wars now, because if Thor, and he's the one that saved Thor and made Thor relevant, and people didn't like the second one,
but it made more money. It made more money.
Yeah, of course it made more money. I don't know, man. Like, it was a good movie. Did it satisfy me? But no, Marvel right now isn't satisfying me in the movie department.
And I don't think you're the only one.
No, I mean, the shows are aggressively better. I was like, what adjectives should I use for them? Aggressively.
I've only seen the WandaVision, Hawkeye, and 2 episodes of She-Hulk are the only Marvel shows I've seen. I'm very behind. And you know what? To be honest, all I know about She-Hulk episode 3 is that she twerks with Megan Thee Stallion, and that's like a post-credit scene because the Georgia logo came over. So, and people hate that beyond all reason. And I saw it, I was like, whatever. Like, I didn't find it funny, to be honest, and I didn't find it insulting either. I was just kind of like neutral on it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. That was my whole thing. But like, that seems like it's not even part of the episode. But I have enjoyed the first 2 episodes of She-Hulk. I will be honest with you. I just haven't had a chance to watch the third. And right now, I don't know when I will. But the first 2 I enjoyed. They weren't. I didn't think they were over the top, but they were. I didn't regret watching them. I'll say that.
The show isn't supposed to be like groundbreaking. It's a fun show, and to my knowledge, I never really read She-Hulk by herself. She was usually in the Avengers or the Fantastic Four. Like, it's like when it's a She-Hulk series by herself, she's typically jokey because it's sort of like she's the female, and like that's like the big joke running through the series. Like, it's like, I'm just the Hulk, but a woman. Like, and I think it's doing what it's set out to do. And if you haven't picked up on that, it was a little weird where she twerks, and like, I didn't get to feel any way I want, like my own way, because I already knew about it. Thanks, internet. I'm sorry I can't wake up at 6 in the morning to avoid it.
So true.
But outside of that, it doesn't really spoil the episode. It's just spoilers. Megan Thee Stallion is in it, but for like a funny reason. So like I'm like, if you're going on the fact, if you watch the rest of the episode, her twerking at the end with Megan Thee Stallion, who's known for twerking, and the She-Hulk is a very big woman. Not that only big women can twerk. It's just, it's kind of the joke. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. You don't have. It's the last part. It's after the trailer. Trailer. It's after the credits. You don't have to watch it. But anyways, going back to what I was saying. Yeah, like if you don't count the last Spider-Man movie, the last good Marvel movie was Shang-Chi. Like in my opinion, like I enjoyed that thoroughly, and I was like, yeah. So I don't blame Taika Waititi for like maybe not doing Star Wars because Lord knows we're a lot more toxic than Marvel fans.
A lot more toxic. It's insane. But it's good. Well, Lord of the Rings might trump everything now. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Did you watch those? I watched them. Did you watch them? What'd you think?
I watched both. I'm halfway through the third episode of House of Dragon. So they're like the Game of Thrones show and the Lord of the Rings show are out at the same time. I enjoyed both of them. I don't know. They're episodic, so it's like okay. I'll watch and then whatever. So
my only complaint, I really enjoy the Lord. I don't watch the Game of Thrones stuff. That's too nerdy for me, Brock. I'm not into. No, I'm just joking. I'm not into Game of Thrones though. But I watched the Lord of the Rings, and I really enjoyed both of them. The only complaint I had was they both ended the exact same. Like, so if you haven't seen it, brief spoiler, like very small spoilers here. But if they're like, oh, who's this mystery person? Like both times, I was like, how many times are you going to play the mystery person card to end an episode? I'm kind of like, it happened once. I'm already over it because they're back to back too, right? It had even like, and I did watch. So we started watching it on Friday night, and we fell asleep before the title card came up. And then we finished it the next day. So we watched it back to back, and I was like, and when you watch them back to back, I felt like the mystery person reveal at the end was not reveal, but the cliffhanger mystery person kind of fell flat. It was kind of like the Mandalorian, where every episode was like, "Let's go to the next planet." You're like, this trope is weighing on me now. And so that was. But other than that, I thought it was a lot of fun, and it was nice to be back in Middle Earth.
Yeah. I feel like it's funny because it's like Game of Thrones is more like focused around all these houses and stuff. It's like the trade federation and the prequels where you're like, there's a lot of infrastructure that we don't need to know about. But it was interesting, like the Rings of Power, I felt like more detail oriented. I was just like, oh my god, is this episode? But I loved it. I did find midway through some episodes where I'm like, this show's still going. But I loved it. I know you're not watching House of Dragon, but Matt Lewis Smith. Yeah, Matt Smith. Thank you. Matt Smith is like a main character, and like having just watched Morbius and now watching this, and not ever watching Doctor Who and not knowing what his voice was like, I was like, oh, I could listen to this guy read the new telephone book.
I've never seen it. The first thing I ever saw him in was Morbius as well, because I was waiting for him to appear in Star Wars, but that never happened. So Morbius, best movie of the year.
I all I can say is
yes.
I just finished watching House of Gucci as well, where Jared Leto has to wear makeup and prosthetics, and I'm just like, maybe this isn't for you anymore. Maybe you just be the beautiful man on set. Like, don't put anything on your face. Like, look, after you've seen the Batman and see that Colin Farrell just disappears in the Penguin, there's no back up to that. There is no Colin Farrell in the Batman. There's just
Penguin.
Oswald Cobblepot. Like you can't undo that. You're done. Don't even bother. Just be yourself. Just talk about 30 Seconds to Mars and call it a day.
So what you're saying is Morbius was better than the Batman?
Yeah.
Morbius. So I saw
Which one?
Morbius. I saw Morbius in the theater, by the way. I saw it.
Oh, I remember.
Opening day in the theater. And I went more like as a lark. We'll say it was like a lark.
Yeah.
And it was 5 of us in the theater, and the problem with Morbius is it's not as bad as I was led to believe, but it's not good. It's like, it's like it's somewhere in the middle of those two things. I find like it's not the worst comic book movie I've ever seen by a long stretch, and it's nowhere near the best. Like it's nowhere even close to the best. And the memes have made it all worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, which one is more memeable? Like, who could have guessed that Morbin time would just become a thing? Like, that's wild. I don't know.
No one, because it's not a thing. I was talking to our friend Dwayne like a year months ago about it, and he goes, "It's not." He's like, "They didn't even say Morbin time in the movie." I was like, "No, they don't." It's like, I don't know. It's incredible. They should add an extended cut where they say Morbin time just to like impress everybody. But anyway, let's talk about Star Wars. Andor's coming up. They released some clips. I've stayed away from the clips, but again, I actually don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to watch Andor, Brock. I was really hoping that the first episode or whatever would come out on the 31st, so I could at least watch one. I'm hoping to watch them when they release. I might be way behind on them. We'll see. So I've actually stayed away from the clips though, because I saw the trailer and I'm like, I'm good. You got me. I want to watch it. Have you watched any of the clips that they've released?
No, I've finally taken your advice and stopped watching trailers, and it's great. Like I went to the movies a couple weeks ago and saw like Black Panther trailer for the first time on a theater screen. I was like, oh, like it's been a while. It's been a while since I've watched trailers in a theater. Yeah. It's probably been a lifetime, and seeing it for the first time, like whoa. So I'm not watching anything. I like Rings of Power. I didn't watch a single trailer, so I was like, let's go. Like I'm in.
The only trailer for that I saw was the Super Bowl spot, and that was in February, and I'm like, I don't remember. I remember like the cliff climbing. Like that was the only thing I remember was that, like scaling the mountain. Other than that, I'm like, I don't. There was a tree, I think. I could not for the life of me remember it. I kind of like that I don't recognize any of the actors in this show. Like I'm kind of like, I don't know who any of you are, and I'm good with this because I like that. They're not taking me out like, oh, that's Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
He's a hot.
No. They're called Harfoots now.
Yeah, sorry, Harfoot.
I was like, whoa. I'm like, but it makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's just sort of like we're that far in the past that like they're still evolving as like people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
which I believe that's from a book one of the books. I've read like all of those books at some point, but I don't remember them because there are a lot.
Yeah.
There are a lot. You probably read them. There are a lot to read. They're like, even the Lord of the Rings books, there's like 7 pages about how the grass is growing. And you're like, okay, is it green?
Like,
there's a lot.
I thought Return of the King was like brutal. And then I watched the movie and I was like, oh, that's what's happening. Or maybe it was one of the...
I think it was Return of the King because they took off like a lot of the ending. Like a lot of that movie they ripped out. Yeah, because I mean, a book's a book, a movie's a movie, but yeah, those books, man, they're old. They're a read. All of them in the Similarian. Similarian. I remember buying that. I bought that being all excited, and I remember reading it like, what is happening to my brain right now?
Coincidentally, the book that George R.R. Martin wrote, that is like what the House of Dragon, I believe, is based on, is just as brutal. There's like no dialogue. It's like reading a history. It's like reading a Wikipedia article, but it goes on for 20 pages, and you're like,
that's the 700 pages of a Wikipedia article. And every 5 pages, they ask me to donate. They're like, it's that time of the year. We need you to put that.
But the big thing that's coming up is D23. So, like, that's probably what our next episode is going to be about. Maybe, I don't know. We don't know what. And I'm like staying away from anything like, they're expecting to show this, and this. Is like until they show it, they don't show it.
Well, hope you're not saying never tell me the odds.
Never tell me that.
I I think though, like Disney Plus Days coming, D23 is the big thing. I think we're gonna get some Mandalorian season 3 stuff because that's the bread and butter of
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Star Wars right now, right? Like Andor is exciting, Acolyte's exciting, Skeleton Crew is exciting, but the Mandalorian is the bread and butter of Star Wars.
Yeah, right now for sure.
Grogu is keeping Star Wars afloat. So I can't imagine not seeing something. I'm not saying it's going to be like a 7-minute trailer, but even if it's a flash or a still frame, we're going to get something I think from season 3.
Absolutely. It'd be weird if we didn't. I keep like confusing Skeleton Crew and Bad Batch for some reason. I'm like, no, Bad Batch is nothing to do with Skeleton Crew. I think
they're similar though, because the one Bad Batch has like a skeleton.
Yeah. True.
I'm excited for Skeleton Crew. It's like the one that we know the least amount, and it kind of came out of nowhere, and I like that. I like it. Just do it and make it happen. You're like, oh, what's this? So I'm all in.
What do you think's gonna like lead, Marvel or Star Wars? Like, what's gonna get the most coverage?
That's a great question. So they're sharing the block on the 10th thing. Not the 10th, I can't remember. They're sharing a block though, and it's a 2-hour block, so they'll probably split it 50-50. But I'm wondering if, so yeah, you would think like who's gonna start it? I feel like Marvel would end it because they'd want to end it on a bang, and I think whatever Marvel does is, and obviously I'm a big Star Wars guy. We do a Star Wars podcast, not a Marvel podcast, but I feel like Marvel's bigger right now, and so they'd want to end it with a big Marvel, unless there's something like the big that they can end on with Star Wars. I kind of feel like Marvel's gonna be the second half of that. To get like, here's the Star Wars stuff. Aren't you excited? Yeah. And they're like, and here's Marvel, and they're like, She-Hulk is gonna be in the Avengers with the Tulia and whatever. Like that's Scarlett Johansson's sisters, Tulia and the U.S. agent and who else is part of the Thunderbolts.
Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight. and then they'll be like, we're the Thunderbolts, and then Queen will play Thunderbolts and it's gonna end with that.
Bolt of lightning. That writes itself. Thunderbolt of lightning, very, very frightening. It's just like when they did Age of Ultron, and it was like the Pinocchio song.
The Pinocchio song, yeah.
That's genius, actually. Whew. I think you're absolutely correct. I think the only way Star Wars ends the D23 Expo is like they announce a movie. Like I think that trumps everything right now, maybe, but like.
Yeah, but okay, I agree. However, it can't just be like Taika Waititi is doing the next movie. It has to be, here's the trailer for the next movie. Hey, imagine if they show the trailer for the next movie and it ends with the title and it's episode 10. That would bring the house down, but it won't happen.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's weird because like in the past we were like, Marvel, we know where they're going. Now this Phase 4, like I know this is it's been pointed out that there is no direction specifically in Phase 4. Like more stuff is coming in Phase 5 and 6, and we're almost done Phase 4. But like, it is weird having a phase of Marvel where you're like, I mean, I like most of the stuff, but like, what is this going towards? So
Phase 4 just seems so empty though, because it's almost like they're like, it's almost like they were doing Phase 4 and then they're like, nah, this was, because there's no ending to Phase 4. It's just like, we're in Phase 5, you know? It's What? But because the other, like, it just feels like they're doing phases because that's what they do and they call them phases.
Yeah.
It's like I don't care about your phases. Just make the stuff. Although I did hear a rumor. I think Darth Ward told me a rumor about how Black Panther 2 either ends or the post-credit scene of Black Panther 2. And that makes kind of sense if that's, I don't even, like what he said could be completely bogus. I don't know. But if that was the case, then I could kind of understand how that would lead into a Phase 5. But it also feels like that would be like when Phase 4 actually starts. Like this is Phase 4 and it could continue after. But I mean, it is what it is. The phases are meaningless anyway. Who cares? The movies just have to be good and we have to want to keep going back.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I will go, like Thor definitely was better than Multiverse of Madness, but like Moon Knight's already a better movie than both of them. Sorry. But anyway, Star Wars. I'm excited. I'm hoping for a lot of video game stuff announced. I think they do that at D23. Yeah. It's I don't know. Yeah, I just think like a movie, and you're right, it should be a trailer. Like a movie announcement for Star Wars would be huge. But I don't know if they keep secrets, but I think we would already know about it.
I mean, Skeleton Crew was pretty close to the vest until it was. But yeah, I don't know how you would get. I don't know how you would get away with because Skeleton Crew, they got pretty far along, but they still hadn't been recorded. Like, they didn't shoot it yet. Like we got wind of it before they started production. So it's in this day and age, I don't even know how you do it. But then you look. I mean, I know it's almost 10 years now, but 10 Cloverfield Lane was pretty good at being a shock. Even like it's the same director, but even like Prey, it was like, it wasn't like, I mean, I guess it's not as big as Star Wars, but it wasn't talked about, and it just kind of happened. And they were like, "Guess what's coming out next year?" And you're like, "What?" Ghostbusters. After Ghostbusters is a prime example. They shot the freaking movie, and they're like, "Guess what we shot?" And you're like, well, "What happened here? How did you?" So yeah, I guess you could get away with it if you really wanted to. But I mean, Grogu, talking about like Grogu was hidden from us. Yeah. No, it's not shooting, but it was still Grogu, and that's a massive thing not to leak. Massive.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like it's shocking that they held that back that long. But yeah, I don't know if we ever talked about this. Was it Joe Dante that said that they ripped off Gizmo? Yeah. And I was thinking about like that doesn't make any sense. Like it's already been pointed out. Like Yoda predates Gizmo, so I think he was more talking about like Grogu and Gizmo. The name kind of sounds similar, but it's just like, and they make baby noises, I suppose.
Yeah, but one's Howie Mandel, the other one's Baby Yoda. Imagine if Howie Mandel did the voice of Grogu.
I would immediately sign off on that.
I can't tell how Howie Mandel, like, he's just like the voice of Staples now. And I don't know, I keep seeing these Staples commercials and it's Howie Mandel. It's very strange. Remember his talk show, Good Times? Freaking Howie Mandel. Canadian-ish.
Yeah. Ish. The best.
Yeah, simply the best. Little Monsters.
Bobby's World.
Bobby's World was fantastic.
Staying elsewhere.
Walk Like a Man, where he's raised by wolves. Him and Brendan Fraser should do a crossover movie. Remember when Brendan Fraser only did roles where he didn't speak like for like 10 years. He was like Encino Man, George of the Jungle. He was all in on it. Yeah. It's good times. But anything from D23, like I don't know what to expect from D23 because I've never been to one. And did Marvel go to Comic-Con this year or did they pass it for D23? I can't remember.
I think they didn't have a huge presence. I feel like I was listening to someone talk about that. I'm pretty certain they had a Marvel like cinema MCU panel of sorts where they showed the trailers. Yeah, so I guess yes, they were. I guess that's what we're talking about, not so much the comic. Yeah. I don't know. I go to Toronto Fan Expo where there's almost zero presence. It's just like the writers and the authors come of their own volition, and that's it. There's never a Marvel or DC per se like run panel. What's up? But what you gonna do?
Well, we're too small here. I think it's smart. I know because Star Wars Celebration was supposed to be in August, and then they moved it to May. Mm-hmm. I think it makes sense with D23 happening so early in September. And then they let May really focus a lot on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like it was, I mean, as much as there was other stuff, they really focused hard on Obi-Wan Kenobi, which makes sense because that was what they were pushing at the time. Now that's out of the way. Now they can kind of introduce if there's a movie, Skeleton Crew, Bad Batch Season 2, Mandalorian Season 3, Acolyte could be mentioned. Like there's a lot that they could bring up here. And I don't know. For me, for Star Wars, though, again, it remains. I'm kind of over the announcements until you have something concrete to show me. Until there's a trailer, I don't know if I trust you. And they were neck and neck with DC for a while, where I didn't trust either one of them when they announced stuff, and now I'm like, I don't think I trust DC even when they announce anything now because so I think I hope whatever they talk about, whatever they announce, they have something concrete, and they've already started production on it, and it's not just we have an idea, I don't care about your ideas. Your ideas are great. That's where things start from. But for me, as a consumer of your products, I don't care about the idea. I care about the finished product. And so I can't handle these empty promises anymore.
Stop showing me a black screen with logos on it. I can make a logo. Like, it doesn't beside it. Like, come on. Not out. But it is what it is. I think they gotta think it through because Lord knows we are oversaturated by all the stuff that it's like it's gotta be worthwhile to an extent, even if it's not like world shaking on what you're doing with your properties. It's just something that's like, wow, I enjoy that a lot. Like She-Hulk didn't need that series, but I enjoy it. Tatiana Maslany is absolutely slaying as that character. And yeah.
Yeah, I wonder like if a show like Stranger Things would work. Like, I mean, it's really good, obviously, but there's so much. I think I said this a little while ago, but Erin was watching the show way back. It was like in the winter or early spring. She was watching the show, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And she said, "Whatever, blah blah." And it was 5 seasons, and it was already over for like 2 years, and she had never heard of it. And it's like there was 5 seasons of the show 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And like she's only finding about it. Like there's just so much content out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That it's so hard. And things like Netflix is like, well, if you didn't watch it today, we're canceling it. And they cancel things right away. And like, have people even had a chance to find it yet? Like I don't know. There's just so like I don't even bother trying anymore. I've pretty much given up on anything television related. Like anything that's a series, I almost give up on unless like, let's watch this. Because it's like there's too much, and I just don't have the patience or the time to go through everything and care. And so I'm just gonna watch Jaws again.
In our theme of not talking about Star Wars and talking about other things, I will suggest to you The Sandman on Netflix.
I've heard good things, yes.
Perfect. And like, I know you're going to become a father in the next week to 2 to 3 weeks. Just keep in mind that your newborn just sleeps for like the first 6 months. So this is where like, I know you have responsibilities, but there could be a lot of TV watching while this.
Well, I don't think they sleep straight through. You have to feed them like every 2 or 3 hours. There's a lot.
It's called pause, James. You're not going anywhere for 6 to 7 months.
What are you talking about? I got to
work from home.
I'm going away in October. We're going to go to Cuba.
Are you? Oh, sick.
No, God, no.
I was like, what?
No, yeah, no. There's maybe I'll watch Sandman. What was I watching? Lord of the Rings is the only thing I watch actually, because I don't watch the Game of Thrones stuff. Erin started watching it, and she watched the first episode. She goes, I regretted watching that because it was something with like a baby or I don't know, something. So she's like, I'm not in a mood.
Oh yeah, there is that.
I was like, yeah, I guess that might not have been. Yeah, so I don't know. I just we'll see. Maybe Sandman. I'll put that on the list. Would Erin like Sandman? Is it too comic-y?
No, it's actually very like. The first one's a little bit of slog, but you kind of have to watch it. Like the comic version of it, kind of like the 4th or 5th episode. It's called 24/7. Destroyed me and rebuilt me by the end of the episode. Like it's wild. Like there is one scene in one episode that might trigger Erin just a little bit, but it's fantastic. It's cool. It feels like a comic book because there's like a storyline here and then a storyline there, and then you come back to the storyline and you go back. Like it's very like episodic. It's like little chunks, which is nice. I would say give at least the first 3 episodes a chance. If you don't like them, you don't have to watch the other 7, I think, or 8, because I think there's 11 episodes. Like the first 4 to 5 episodes, you can get to the episode where this guy wants to live forever. After that, you can ignore it, I suppose. But I would highly suggest that series.
Yeah, I've heard good things, so maybe I'll give it a chance. There's nothing else I want to watch right now.
But like to wrap it all up into Star Wars, like the quality of these shows are amazing. Like whether you like it or not, like Rings of Power, the House of the Dragon, the Sandman, She-Hulk, they're all looking really, really good, and there has to be, or maybe She-Hulk's not. I know everyone's like, the CG is not there, but like there's a quality that you have to hit now, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you're going to compete against these other shows, like Stranger Things is an amazing show and has set a precedent. Like what was it? I think Obi-Wan was sort of competing with it at the same time. It's like you're not going to match it. So it's like either come up with something new or don't even bother competing because you're not going to win. So
yeah, it's true. Those production values and those things are solid.
Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah.
And the Star Wars stuff, I've enjoyed all the Star Wars stuff, but a lot of people are starting to like notice the volume now and complaining about the volume. And I still think the volume is great and it's a great tool. But I do find when they're running with the running does not work well. You can't really run with the volume yet. They haven't had a treadmill that quite matches the speed of the backdrop. They're always like this. Where are you running to? I'm running fast.
Why are you running?
It's just it doesn't work, But yeah, I'm with you. There's a quality. I can't wait for Andor though. Andor is the first one that's not using the volume. It's also crazy because it's a prequel to the original Star Wars, which is a prequel to The Empire Strikes Back. So there's a lot of things going on there, and it's a sequel. There's a lot going on. I know. Did I just blow your mind with that?
No, I was just remembering. Did they not also announce that there will be a second season and it will finish moments or whatever before
5 days before? 5 days before, yeah.
5 days before, that's like confirmed, right?
Yeah, because what's happening from what I believe is season 1 is all 1 year. It's 12 episodes, 1 year in the life of Andor. And season 2 is going to be 9 episodes, I think, and each 3 episodes, or maybe it's 12, each 3 episodes is going to be a year. So it's going to boom, 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 boom. And then it's going to end 5 days before Rogue One. So maybe like it'll probably be Andor going to go find that guy that he shoots in the back. That'll probably be like he'll probably get word that something's happening. He has to go find this guy, and it'll end with him going there. It'd be really cool if it ended just like with him walking into that alleyway. That would be a cool ending. But anyway, yeah, that's what they're saying for that. I think they start shooting this fall, season 2, which is promising also, which is what I liked about Mandalorian. It's like when you know there's a season 2, just get to it. Why are you waiting? Just bring it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cassian. Wow. All right, odds?
Odds, let's do it.
Possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Ever. Never have I ever told you the odds. Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you by everyone that loves us at patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, head on over to Rebel Scum Podcast, patreon.com. It's down here, and support us. We would greatly appreciate it. And then we'll say I love you. Like we say I love you to the following people: Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Staniforth, Rez, Scott D, Josh Price, Matt W,
Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Dale Erdman, Girls with Sabers, and the Dangers.
Thank you to all. Boom. I say Rez now.
Yeah. Rez's master plan was to get you to say his name after all this time. Finally succeeded. All right, Never Tell Me the Odds. Thank you so much to all our Patreon subscribers. You guys are awesome. And I promise while I go MIA, we will have content for you. Brock is going to record him. Brock, you're clear again on my end. This is exciting. Brock is going to record himself watching Andor live every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. The camera might not even be on his face, but it will be. It's just like, that's a lie. That's a lie. It won't be.
It's just my phone like this. Wow.
Wow.
America.
Like when you FaceTime my dad. Never Tell the Odds. Will we get our first look at Skeleton Crew at either D23 or on Disney Plus Day? Are they going to show the trailer for Skeleton Crew in front of Pinocchio, Brock, or will we get it at D23?
I think it's going to be 65% chance. I think it's more going to be like, here's concept art. You're welcome.
Oh. I'm a hard pass on the concept art. I wouldn't be if I trusted them, but I don't. So I'm going to go full Brock on this. I don't know if they
Oh,
have enough
wow.
footage to show us, but I believe they started shooting. So I would just like to see something. Remember Guardians of the Galaxy? They're like, we just started shooting, but here's like a little montage, and we were all like, "This is the greatest looking thing I've ever seen." And you were like, literally like, "Oh, James, this is a Guardians of the Galaxy book," and you're like, "Oh, you've never heard of them? Let me educate you." The Guardians of the Galaxy were founded in 1801 by there's a talking raccoon in a tree, and all the tree says, that's what you told me about it. You said there's a talking raccoon and a tree that only says Groot. And I was like, all right.
It was a subpar comic that everyone not read.
Basically, but then it became like the best movie for a while. Maybe
Yeah.
continues to be for some people. I don't know. I'm gonna go full brag on that one. Next on Andor season 2 announced date at Disney Plus Day. Are they going to, or D23? Are we going to get the air date for Cassian Andor season 2?
No way, 0%. I know it's like a for sure thing, but like let's like just put that at the end. Like the last episode is like Cassian Andor will return on this date. They did that with something, and I'm like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. But you know what I think is even better? I want to one up you here. Is I think like you have Andor ends, or like Bad Batch begins, blah. Then Bad Batch ends, Mandalorian season 2 begins, blah. The Mandalorian season 3 ends, Andor or whatever the next show is, Skeleton Crew begins, Acolyte, blah, and that's how you can get me. So I'm with you. I'm gonna go 7%. They're gonna do it. I think it's too early. They don't know what. I don't think they know what their slate is, because Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, probably Mandalorian season 4. You got Ahsoka coming up. There's a lot going on that I just don't think they can commit to an air date yet for Andor season 2. Even though it's coming, they just can't commit to an air date yet. And our final lot today, Mandalorian season 3 trailer on Disney Plus Day or D23. I'm thinking more D23, Brock, but what do you think?
What is Disney Plus Day? I thought it was part of D23.
No, it's September 8th is Disney Plus Day, and basically they're releasing Pinocchio, Thor, Cars.
Oh, I see.
Show. Yeah, I don't really know the point of it anymore, but it's a thing. So
I think you've given us the answer already. Mandalorian's their big hot ticket thing. They're gonna keep it till D23 because they have to show the stockholders that we got it. Don't worry, we're good. We got it right here, buddy. So I'm gonna go. That's not really a yes or no question. I mean, I guess.
Well, yes. No. Will we get it that weekend, basically?
Oh, I see. Yes, 99%.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 87%. I think we're gonna get it too.
Nice.
The end. The end. I mean, just freaking give it to me. Give me the trailer. I don't need it. I'm gonna watch it.
I want to see it.
Get to the chopper. Those are our odds for episode 259 of the Rebel Scum podcast. Thank you to all of our Patreon. I lost the StreamYard page as I was Googling what's up Star Wars. Remember we used to do what's up Star Wars?
Yeah.
And then nothing was up anymore. Like when we didn't do it, everything would drop, and then we started doing it, and they're like, nah.
I had to guess it's all going to be about D23, predictions.
And John Boyega says he's good and done playing Finn. All right, let's go to Hollow News. Ready? You were going to
news.
Hollow News. Da 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 da. Hollow News. Da 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 da. Hollow da 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 da.
Hollow News. Hollow News. The news you need to know right now. Disney will be unveiling their Clone Trooper voice-changing mask. If you're not familiar with these, it's not the full helmet. It's the one that straps around the back. It's for children, but you know you want it. This mask seems to be part of the Star Wars The Bad Batch series, but is not like any other release, as this mask is fully customizable. That's right. Create your own Clone Trooper mask with 9 different stickers to change your battalion. 3 different customizable accessories also feature a visor, rangefinder, and removable torch. There is your voice changer as well, allowing you to send orders to the commander for your next mission. This will go for $34.99, and you can go over to Shop Disney right now and order it, and it's pretty sweet, so I would go check it out. And also in toys, but are more like replica toys, the blaster from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, that Han Solo held and went pew, 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 has sold at the Rock Island Auction Company for the whopping $1,000,000 $57,500 to an unknown collector. This prop is the last surviving model of the 3 used during the shooting of A New Hope, making it a pretty hot commodity. The blaster was sold at the auction for more than double the predicted price, as the original sales estimate was $400,000. Other items up for grabs were Darth Vader's suit, a variety of lightsabers, and including Count Dooku's lightsaber and Boba Fett's helmet. And in our final story, while the Direct, which is a website, was in attendance at Atlanta's DragonCon this last weekend, Jim Cummings, they interviewed him, the voice behind everyone's favorite character from Clone Wars and Rebels, Hondo Ohnaka. He talked about the possibility of reprising his role for live action. When asked if he might be seeing Hondo in live action or at least in the next season of Bad Batch, the actor replied, "Probably, but they haven't talked to me about it." Probably, yes and yes, but they haven't talked to me about it. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, I'm there. I ain't going nowhere. Currently, the only way to experience Hondo live in the flesh is through the animatronic at Galaxy's Edge at Disney Hollywood Studios and the Walt Disney Resort in Rise of the Resistance. And the live action of the Weequay also led Disney World's dedication ceremony for the Star Wars themed land. So there you have it. If you want your Hondo in your life, you have to go to Florida now, because who knows if he'll ever appear in new Star Wars. And this has been your Hollow News.
Hondo!
Hondo! Boom!
Hondo's got top 5 coming up.
Top 5.
You've seen Hondo in the flesh. All right, top 5. Top 5 Anakin Skywalker moments. Top 5 moments. My number 5. Try spinning. That's a good trick.
My number 5 is going to be a new one, so I guess it has to stay low because we just received it recently from Star Wars. It's Anakin in Obi-Wan saying, or Vader saying, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did." And you're like, oh.
I don't know. Can we allow that at the Vader, not Anakin? So I think you're out.
His face was there. His face.
My number 4. I hate sand. I'm not even joking. That's my number 4. I hate sand. It's rough. It's coarse. It gets everywhere. Bam! I'm with him. I am with him.
My number 4 is the one where he meets Ahsoka for the first time, and he's like, "What's up, Snippy? Snips."
I wish you voiced Anakin.
Yeah.
My number 3. It's a great moment in the movie. It's one of the most wholesome moments in Star Wars. It's when he chops Count Dooku's head off. My number 3.
My number 3. Now this is pod racing. Boom. No more explanation.
I didn't go with that one because of my number 1, but it's not my number 1. But anyway, my number 2. When he slaughters the Tuscans, he says, "And I slaughtered them like animals." You're like, oh, he's getting mean, and you're like, is he going to turn to the dark side? I don't. George Lucas, they wouldn't make a good guy turn to the dark side. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't. Brock's gone.
All right, my number 2 is the comedy of errors. That is him blowing up the space station in Phantom Menace by accident.
I love it. Try spinning. That's a good trick. Never fails. And my number 1 Anakin Skywalker moment is the pod racing sequence. It's working. It's working.
Mine is also in Phantom Menace. The line a million memes. My name is Anakin, and I'm a person. Bananakin!
You're my brother, Bananakin. I loved you.
Boom.
Good times. Top 5 Anakin Skywalker moments. Your moments are in the comments below or to the side. That's going to wrap up this episode 259 of the Rebel Scum podcast. He's Brock. I'm James. Brock, anything else you want to add today?
No. Watch The Sandman.
watch The Sandman. All right, I guess I'll have to do that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe. Brock, can I tell you something? Just between us?
I'm listening.
You were always scum.
Rebel scum.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.